go. So I am day 18 or 19 post-op, around that. I'm rubbish at counting, but you know, it's getting further away, so it's going to get harder to count. So I'm just going to say weeks now. So I'm 3 weeks. I'm going to say I'm 3 weeks post-op. Yeah, interesting week. So I think when I last spoke to you, I still had my staples in. I had them taken out on Tuesday. They came out fine. Everything looks like it's healed really well. I'm actually really lucky. There's only one that you can sort of see. The rest of it seems to be quite hidden already. They're healing really well faster than I expected as well, which is great. I had a bit of a week this week in terms of, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm going to start off with, I had some spicy soup stuff, and that was a massive mistake. Spice does not agree with me. It went straight through me. Spare you the details, but you can imagine what happened. And then I also self-inflicted some, warning, a bit of too much information kind of scenario we're going into now, but I self-inflicted myself some hemorrhoids, or just one big one, and piles, whatever you want to call them. A pain in the arse is what I call it. The reason I'm mentioning it, and it's quite personal and sort of embarrassing, but the reason I mention it is because if anyone's having this journey, I want to tell you how you can avoid that and why it happened. Now, after my operation, I was obviously going to the toilet for number twos a lot less often, because, well, I'm not eating anything. I'm drinking liquids. I'm consuming no more than really 600 calories a day at the moment. But I got a little bit obsessed. Like I kept telling myself I needed to go to the toilet for number two once a day. Pardon me, once a day, and I was forcing myself. So I was straining. I was going to the toilet in the morning and trying to make myself go to the toilet. Now that is a bad idea, and I learned the hard way. Because what that does is you're putting all the pressure on, it forces blood going down, like you hold your breath and all your veins pop out. Very similar, but on the opposite end. And it sends blood down to the veins that are in your back end and can cause hemorrhoids and piles. And it's exactly what it did to me, and it was bloody horrible. The first 2 days were just, I was in horrendous pain with it, and I rang 111 and told them what happened. I was a little bit worried because I'd just come off the blood thinners. I'd finished my blood thinners on Monday. I was a little bit worried that because it was clotting, and I was worried that it was related to that. It's nothing to do with the surgery or my medication that I was on, purely self-inflicted from trying to make myself go to the toilet every day. So learn from me. Don't do that if you're going to go through this journey or any gastric weight loss surgery. Don't make that mistake. I'm just going to let my body tell me when it's ready to go to the toilet, and if I don't go to the toilet for 3 days, then so be it. If anything, that's less of a it's not a big deal. I quite like that. In the perfect world, I'd never have to go to the toilet. It's a pain in the arse. Not pain in the arse, it's not painful normally. It is at the minute. I mean, the idea of going to the toilet in general, if you could eradicate that, that'd be great. But yeah, so that's an update, and that was a little bit of a setback. It put me in a bit of a downer for a couple of days, but all self-inflicted, all could be avoided, and I'm only sharing it because I don't want other people to make the same mistake. But I'm all good now. I'm well. I feel great now. I'm still on the liquid stage. They've asked me to do liquids for 4 weeks, but I think they didn't mention anything about a puree diet. So I think I did 4 weeks liquid, and I'm going on to soft foods. So another week and a bit, and I'm on soft foods. A week on Wednesday, I'll start eating soft foods or something. So it's a little bit longer than some people get told, but I'm just going to listen to my surgeon and the team and stuff, and follow their guidelines, because they know me. I don't know, everyone's different. I must admit, I feel ready to eat food. I'm getting a bit bored of protein shakes, a bit bored of yogurty stuff, bored of cup soups. I'm ready to eat some texture. I'm ready to taste some flavour. So that you know, I've come this far. I did 8 weeks liver shrinkage diet. I'm doing 4 weeks liquid. I can do it. I just got to keep my mind occupied. And I did say ask questions, and someone did, and a friend of mine asked me a question, which was, bear with me, even though you don't feel hungry, because I don't feel physical hunger, do you still miss the taste of things, and what do you do to combat emotional hunger if you felt it? Now, when she asked me at the time, I said, I'm fine, because I'm the strongest I've ever been in my head. Since I've been doing this journey, I've been the most mentally stable when it comes to food and head hunger and anything like that than I've ever had in my life. So I hadn't had a problem, but that was before my setback this week. And I'm not feeling hunger, like I said, actual hunger, but I am getting to the point where I'm like, oh, that looks nice, or I really fancy some, you know, I would really fancy something like this, or I really want this, that and the other. And how am I tackling it? Well, at the moment, I've got no choice. I can't falter. There's nothing, the thing stopping me is if I eat something that I shouldn't be eating now, it could really damage me. So that helps, but at the same time, that ain't going to be a problem forever. In 4 weeks' time, in 2 weeks' time, when I can start eating fairly normally again, how am I going to tackle those feelings? Oh, I really fancy this, that and the other. And I suppose you just got to tell yourself, why did you do this in the first place, and what the food that you was eating before, I mean, it put you in this position where you needed to go and get help and stuff. So do you really want to go back there again? So my motivation is not to get big again. And I don't think that can happen. Well, it can, but I've got to really cock it up for it to happen. But I ain't going back there again. I'm so determined and ready to make these lifestyle choices. I don't think I'll go back there again. But it doesn't stop me from having the thoughts of, I really fancy that. Now, there was some Terry's chocolate orange in the fridge this morning that my family had in there. No issues with my family. I'm not, criticising them. It's their house as well. But I really fancied nicking a bit and letting it dissolve on my tongue. I didn't. I told myself not to, but I really had to tell myself not to, because there was nothing physically stopping me from being able to do that. I could have put a bit of Terry's chocolate on my tongue, let it melt, taste it, and then enjoyed it. But why would I? I mean, it probably wouldn't have made any impact. It probably wouldn't have. One slice of cherry chocolate only wouldn't have been an issue, really. But what does that do afterwards? And it's mentally what it does afterwards that's important, because then I'll be like disappointed in myself and annoyed that I chose that route and annoyed that I had that. And then that could spiral into making some more bad choices. It can be a bit of a domino effect. So I'm glad I made the choice not to. But those temptations for foods are starting to come back now. I'm getting ready to eat again. I think it will be different when I can start eating certain foods again. I think it will allow me to experiment with what I should be eating and what I can eat, and enjoy that process, and that'll be a big distraction on thinking of foods and stuff. Another thing is I'm dreaming a lot about eating food. I'm dreaming, it's weird, I'm having really vivid dreams in the mornings because I'm not waking up to an alarm. I've got nothing to do now. I've got a job to go to at the minute, so I'm letting my phone, I'm leaving it off, so I wake up at a natural time. So I'm having a bit of a dreaming period, and dreams that I remember, and it's usually me eating something. So that's bizarre, but I'm handling it well, and ain't nothing stopping me. But the head hunger is a thing. It does exist, and it is something. If you're doing this journey, it isn't going to go away. Physical hunger is, but be honest with yourself. If you're a big person like I was, have you ever felt physical hunger? Because I know I didn't until I went to hospital and starved myself for a day. That's when I started feeling what real hunger felt like. I think my problem started with head hunger originally. It was never physical hunger. I was always eating too much to be actually hungry. So you got to ask yourself that as well. How much have I lost? This is how much I've lost. I'm, more than 5.5 stone I've lost. I'm in a 21 stone bracket, which is incredible. And so proud to be there at this stage this quickly. I didn't think I'd be losing weight this fast. It slowed down a bit this week, for whatever reasons. I'm trying not to be obsessed with the scales. I only weigh myself once a week now, and trying to sort of like, I know I'm going to lose weight at least for the next year or so. I'm not getting the calories. There's no way I'm not going to lose weight. So to obsess over the amount, I'm trying to knock that on the head a little bit, and try and just focus on other things. I have got a week on Monday. I'm doing a 3-day job, so looking forward to integrating back into my work life again. It will be a nice job to ease back into it. So I'll be prepping my kit this week for that, which I'm excited to do. And that starts bringing me back into my old life again, and seeing how I cope going back into my job. And then if I can book a big job soon after, then great. That'll be the plan. That'll be what I'm hunting for. So if there's any producers watching this, I will be available. If you need a production sound mixer, hit me up. So that's the plan. I've been in the studio this week just making some music. Great distraction, loving it here. Having this place to come to is it's been great. I've been organising my kit, but I'm not trying to do too much. I'm not trying to do too much lifting. I still got to be careful. I'm really gagging to go skateboarding again. Still going to give myself another 2 weeks at least before I even consider it. But I'm ready. While I'm talking about mental health and stuff, one thing I've noticed, and don't worry, I'm fine, but going through this process, losing weight, having this surgery, it's quite a lonely process. And I mean that in the way that, you at the beginning you can't do certain things, or you certainly can't go out and eat and stuff, and you realise how much revolves around food, and it's hard at times being in a position where you can see people and they can just do what they want, they can live their life normally, and you question yourself, you're like, why can't I live normally at the moment? Like, why do I have to be so strict? And it's only these fleeting thoughts, because generally I'm quite positive overall, it's the right thing, but it is a lonely process, and it doesn't have to be either. There is a whole community out there of people that have had this done that are on social media. I did set up my own personal, I did set up a separate Instagram account, the Bariatric, I think it's just Bariatric Maverick. I'll put it up here, what my tag is. I've done that because on that profile I can follow everyone, I can find everyone that's been doing this journey and use that as a support platform and see what other people's journeys entail and stuff. I didn't want to do that on my main account because my main account's very work focused. It's very production sound, film industry focused, and a few sort of fun personal things, but mainly work. So I didn't want to alienate the people that I've already got on there, and I didn't want to like fill my my discovery page up with bariatric weight loss surgery content. So I'd made a separate one just so I can still go on there and still have that support platform and still also help other people that are going through it and message people and have that, keep it a bit more separate. So on my personal account I can kind of just go on as normal. So I won't be posting on my personal account really at all about my journey now. It'll all be going on to the Bariatric Maverick stuff. I'll be posting before and after photos. I'll eventually, when I start eating food, what I'd eat in a day photos and stuff like that. I'll give like updates on that, and I'll also update on people when these videos are coming out and stuff. So that's for that. So if you are following me on Instagram as well, go ahead and you want to follow the journey, go ahead and follow this other account. It's also the link in my bio on my personal account if you already follow me on Instagram. But as I say, it's a lonely process, so if you are feeling lonely, reach out to people that are open on social media about it, and be less lonely. It doesn't have to be. And I've got a lot of respect for Martin, the Bariatric Cockney, for checking in on me from time to time. I didn't realise how much I kind of needed that, and it's really helped. And being able to ask someone that's gone through the same thing, advice and stuff, is great. And Martin does lives on his Instagram. His Instagram is here. Follow him if you're going through this process and stuff, and go on to his lives, because that's quite a nice. Every Sunday, go onto the lives, and we all chat and catch up, and everyone sort of updates each other on their scenario, and we talk about it. We have a few laughs and jokes, and talk about other things as well, but generally, it's a really good support community for people that have had this, any weight loss surgery really. So if you are going through it, go and follow Martin and tune into one of his lives. They're great. That's all I got to say really. Thanks again for watching. If you like the content and it's helping or whatever, just like and subscribe and all that. It helps the algorithm, helps other people discover it. So I appreciate your support so far, and I'll see ya.